Then during the evening, they led a riot against the robots. Every player was there canonically, but in the chat, Perma, Mal, Quarter, and Spevy joined it. The rebel NPC people, roughly 15 people, joined the players, as the players prepared their electric weapons, though the NPCs had only normal shivs. Quarter said, "Let's fucking kill them all." Spevy said, "Let's fucking go." As they marched to the third-floor staircase landing, the robots started to come in from the third-floor door and from below. 20 of them in total. They managed to shoot lots of the rebels with electricity, momentarily making them fall, but the players led by Quarter used their advanced weapons to shut down the robots, wave at a time. Then once the Sector A robots were killed, Spevy, Perma and Mal made their way to the cafeteria. Outside it, they met a group of worshippers who challenged them. A worshipper said, "Stop! What are you doing?" Perma said, "A trial from the one true God." Mal said, "Guys, you should really just back down, please." The worshipper said, "How dare you spit in the face of God?" Perma said, "It is no such thing. We have been set this trial to prove our dedication, as the mind shall persist, so their body does not yet matter till its true form is made. Your hesitance in the face of the true God has caused our downfall. If you followed their command, then would stand to further worship." Mal said, "Shit, the robots from the other sector have arrived." The robots shot electricity from their arms, electrocuting the worshippers and Perma. The robots spread across the hallway, some moving towards the electrocuted men and some towards the stairs. Spevy spilled water on the floor, making the robots approaching the men on the floor slip and glitch by the soaked floor, eventually becoming useless. Spevy pulled Perma in the cafeteria. Then Quarter and the rebels rushed out of the staircase and attacked the robots, Quarter acting as a shield between them, with his vent cover shield. Mal, Perma, and Spevy came to stab and electrocute, shut down the robots from the behind row. Many rebels fell and struggle continued till Spevy spilled water under their feet, which made some of them slip and get damaged by the water. Eventually they were able to push the rest of the robots over and kill them. One worshipper attacked Mal, so Spevy threw an axe at his chest, killing him. Perma said, "Worshippers, listen true. If you understand your God, you will follow its will and fight on. No few losses of machine will affect its mind, and knowing our worth in combat will show our devotion." The worshippers are not listening as they don't follow men. Spevy threw a decapitated robot head on the floor and said, "Is this really what you think your savior sends to your aid?" The worshipper cried and said, "There'll be more and you'll pay for this." Quarter said, "Your God is silent. Because your God is dead." Mal said, "It's all right, they'll learn in time." Quarter said, "There's no hope for these guys, they are beyond saved." These brainwashed men were too gone, but upon being threatened, they agreed to shut up about it. Quarter and Spevy wanted to kill them, but Mal won and they were kept alive. Then the other 25 worshippers arrived to the third-floor hallway from below to check what was going on. They confronted the players shortly, until an announcement was made through the speakers via an AI voice. It announced that Sector A was a lost cause and not worth keeping, and that all life forms were to be exterminated from the building. Every window had a machine stuck to it that could be detomed. These blew up, first floor, then second floor, then third floor, breaking the windows and violently flooding the building. The players and NPCs were caught in the flooding as massive amounts of water poured through the now open promenade windows, breaking the windows to the main area, as well as water flooding from smaller windows from around the floor and from below. As the flooding happened, some of the people got swept into the cafeteria and became trapped. Most of them were able to stay in the hallway as the whole floor filled with water. They then swam towards the door that leads to the central structure, opening it with one of the robot hands. Most made it, but 10 drowned. The door opened to a room that had a door to a hallway. They sealed the second door, sealing the water in the room in between, letting little bit of it in. The door is not watertight, so it will not last forever. Sector A wasn't the only to see this fate, as sectors B and C were also abandoned and flooded via the same way, due to there being their own rebellions on a smaller scale. Everyone in those sectors drowned. The robots have sealed doors leading up the central structure, abandoning the whole structure leading down. The doors in the central structure tower are not watertight until the highest floor that leads to the area of the city above that is wide. Then it was time for alliance analysis. In the hours leading up to the elimination, Dutch and TG Mid tried to pull all the levers they could to eliminate Quarter, but it was a lost cause as Spevy and Mal were now fully on Quarter's team for the time being, except that Mal chose to vote Dutch knowing that she would be the only one voting him. She was getting so many recommendations left and right for who to vote, so she gave up on it. This led to the inevitable elimination of TG Mid. TG Mid was voted out today. TG Mid was not present to hear the voting results, as he had been one of the men that got swept into the cafeteria by the water when Sector A flooded, drowning with the other unfortunate men. Quarter said, "Oh, thank God." Perma said, "Oh sure, fair enough fellas, rest in peace TG, you truly were TG peak." Mal said, "I hope you're eaten by a really cool fish." Spevy said, "His literal first words to me this season were, 'Let's vote this guy.' I knew eventually I'd vote against him."